Have you ever felt your mind go completely blank the moment all eyes turn to you? You're in a meeting, a presentation, a simple conversation, and suddenly, nothing. The words vanish. Your brain feels like it's filled with static. If this sounds familiar, here's the truth. It's not weakness. It's not that you're not smart enough or prepared enough. It's your prefrontal cortex, the CEO of your brain, literally going offline under social pressure. I'm your host, and this is Anatomy of Fear. In the next few minutes, you're going to understand exactly why this happens, not with vague psychology, with hard neuroscience. You'll see the specific brain circuits that collapse when you're being watched, and, more importantly, you'll learn the 90-second technique that reactivates your prefrontal cortex and gets your words back. Let's start with a question. Think about the last time you felt all eyes on you. Maybe it was a work presentation, maybe a job interview, maybe just speaking up in a group of people you wanted to impress. What happened inside your body? Your heart started racing, your palms got sweaty, your throat tightened, and then, the worst part, your mind went blank. Like someone flipped a switch and turned off your ability to think. Here's what most people get wrong. They think this is anxiety. They think it's nervousness. They think if they could just calm down, they'd be fine. But that's like telling someone whose house is on fire to just feel cooler. While you're listening, do this right now. Press your feet firmly into the floor. Feel the ground beneath you. Straighten your spine. Roll your shoulders back. Now lift your chin and look at the horizon, even if the horizon is just the wall in front of you. Hold that for 3 seconds. What just happened? You activated your prefrontal cortex through your body. This isn't woo-woo, this is neuroscience. Your brain reads your posture. When you collapse, your brain thinks you're in danger. When you expand, your brain thinks you're in charge. You just hacked your own neural circuitry in 20 seconds. That technique is going to be the foundation of everything you'll learn today. But first, we need to understand why your prefrontal cortex betrays you in the first place. And to do that, we have to go inside your brain. Meet your prefrontal cortex. It's the part of your brain right behind your forehead. Neuroscientists call it the executive center because it does exactly what a CEO does. It plans, it predicts, it makes decisions, and it controls your impulses. When you're alone or with people you trust, your prefrontal cortex is fully online. It's integrating information from all over your brain. It's helping you form coherent thoughts. It's giving you words. But here's the problem. Your prefrontal cortex has an Achilles heel. It's extremely sensitive to social evaluation. Deep in your brain, there's a tiny region called the amygdala. Its job is to detect threats. For millions of years, it protected your ancestors from predators. But in modern life, your amygdala doesn't just detect physical threats, it detects social threats. And nothing activates your amygdala faster than being watched. When multiple people look at you, your amygdala screams one word: attention. This signal travels to your prefrontal cortex in the milliseconds. And here's what the latest fMRI studies show. Under intense social observation, your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the part that handles working memory and verbal fluency, actually deactivates. It goes dark, blood flow decreases, neural firing slows down. That's why your mind goes blank. It's not that you can't think, it's that the thinking part of your brain has been temporarily shut down by your ancient threat detection system. While that's sinking in, let me ask you, what happens to you when all eyes are on you? Do you go blank? Does your voice tremble? Does your heart race? Or do you avoid these situations entirely? Think about your answer. Number 1 for mind blank, number 2 for trembling voice, number 3 for racing heart, number 4 for complete avoidance. Drop your number in the comments. I read every single one. The reason your brain does this goes back 200,000 years. Imagine you're an early human living in a tribe. If the tribe looks at you, it's not because they're impressed with your presentation skills, it's because something is wrong. Either you've done something dangerous, or there's a threat nearby, or, worst of all, you're about to be excluded from the group. In ancestral environments, being excluded from the tribe meant death. No protection, no food sharing, no survival. So your brain evolved a hair-trigger response to being watched. It learned to interpret social attention as a potential threat, and it learned to shut down non-essential functions like complex thinking to prepare for danger. The problem is, your brain hasn't updated its software. It's still running on version 1.0 from 200,000 years ago. So when you walk into a meeting and 15 people look at you, your brain doesn't think opportunity to shine. It thinks tribe is watching, possible exclusion, prepare for emergency. And emergency mode does not need eloquent speech. Emergency mode needs fight, flight, or freeze. This is why you can be perfectly articulate when you're rehearsing alone. The words flow, the ideas connect, you sound brilliant. But the moment you're in front of people, it all vanishes. You haven't lost your intelligence, you haven't forgotten your material. Your prefrontal cortex has just been temporarily taken offline by a 200,000-year-old survival circuit. Now here's what's fascinating. Stanford University published a study in 2026 that measured this exact phenomenon. They put people in fMRI machines and had them perform tasks while being watched through a camera. When participants knew they were being observed, their dorsolateral prefrontal cortex activity dropped by an average of 40%. 40%. That's like removing nearly half of your cognitive capacity. No wonder you can't remember your own name when you're on stage. It's not nerves, it's neurology. But here's what the Stanford researchers also found. This response isn't fixed. It can be trained. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's look at another study, this one from Harvard in 2025. They tracked the timing of what happens when you're observed. Using electrodes that measure brain activity in milliseconds, they found that your amygdala activates within 300 milliseconds of becoming the center of attention. That's faster than a blink. And just 200 milliseconds later, your prefrontal cortex starts to deactivate. The entire process, from being watched to mind blank, takes about half a second. Half a second. You don't even have time to consciously register what's happening before your brain has already hijacked itself. But here's what the Harvard researchers discovered that changes everything. Physical grounding interrupts this cascade. Remember the technique I showed you earlier? Pressing your feet into the floor, straightening your spine? That sends signals through your nervous system that override the threat response. It tells your brain, I'm stable, I'm grounded, I'm not in danger. And in about 90 seconds, your prefrontal cortex starts coming back online. This isn't just theory. The Harvard study showed that people who used grounding techniques before being observed maintained 80% of their prefrontal activity compared to those who did nothing. 80% versus 60%. That's the difference between blanking out and remembering your points. But grounding is just the first step, because your brain has also learned something else over 200,000 years. It's learned to scan for negative feedback. When you're being watched, your brain automatically searches for signs of rejection, a furrowed brow, a crossed arm, someone looking at their phone. And when it finds them, which it always will because humans make all kinds of faces, it uses them as confirmation that you're in danger. There's a specific region called the anterior cingulate cortex that does this scanning. Its job is to detect conflict between what you expect and what you're getting. When you expect approval but see someone frowning, your anterior cingulate lights up like a Christmas tree. And it sends alarms to your amygdala, which doubles down on shutting down your prefrontal cortex. This is why you can have 99 people nodding along and one person checking their watch, and all you can think about is the one person checking their watch. Your brain is wired to detect threats, not count allies. That one ambiguous face gets processed as potential danger, while the 99 supportive faces barely register. So, how do you fix this? You can't just tell your brain to stop scanning. That doesn't work. But you can redirect what it scans for. This is where the second technique comes in: intentional focus shifting. When you're in front of people, your brain will automatically scan for threats, but you can consciously redirect it to scan for something else: friendly faces. Here's a question for you. What do you think works better for social anxiety? Option A, avoiding speaking situations altogether. Option B, facing them with these techniques. Most people intuitively choose A. Avoidance feels safer. But the science is clear on this. Comment A or B. I want to see what you think. The answer, of course, is B. Avoidance tells your brain that social situations are dangerous. Every time you avoid, you reinforce the fear circuit. But facing them with technique does something different. It teaches your brain that you can survive and even thrive under observation. Let me show you how to do this. Before you enter any situation where you'll be watched, do the grounding technique. Feet on floor, spine straight, chin up. Hold it for 30 seconds. This pre-activates your prefrontal cortex, so it's harder to shut down. Then, as you enter the situation, do a quick scan of the room. Find 3 friendly faces, not neutral faces, friendly. People who are smiling, nodding, looking engaged. Here's why this works. Your brain can't scan for threats and scan for allies at the same time. It's one system. When you deliberately look for friendly faces, you're occupying your threat detection circuitry with a positive task. You're giving it something else to do besides catastrophize. And here's the neuroscience. This shifts activity from your amygdala to your ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the part that processes social reward. A 2024 study from University College London tracked exactly this. They had people give speeches while either scanning for threats or scanning for friendly faces. The threat scanning group showed high amygdala activation and low prefrontal activation. The friendly face group showed the opposite: lower amygdala, higher prefrontal. And they reported feeling significantly less anxious. Now let's talk about what happens after the situation ends. Because for many people with social anxiety, the worst part isn't the event itself, it's the replay that comes after. You go home and your brain replays every ambiguous moment. Did I sound stupid? Did they notice my voice trembling? Why did that one person look away? This is called post-event rumination. And it's not just annoying, it's reinforcing your fear circuit. Every time you replay and catastrophize, you're telling your brain that social situations are dangerous and you didn't handle them well. You're essentially practicing anxiety. The solution is something called deliberate memory editing. Here's how it works. Within 2 hours of a social situation, while your memory is still flexible, sit down and intentionally recall 3 things that went well. Not huge things, small things. Someone nodded. You remembered your main point. You made it through without blanking. Then, and this is crucial, pair that recall with the physical feeling of the grounding technique. Feet on floor, spine straight. This anchors the positive memory in your body. Why does this work? Because memories aren't fixed. Every time you recall something, you re-encode it, and you can subtly reshape it. By deliberately focusing on positive moments and pairing them with a grounded physical state, you're slowly retraining your brain's prediction model. You're teaching it that social situations can be safe, even rewarding. A 2025 study from Columbia University followed people who did this for 21 days. They had participants with moderate social anxiety practice grounding before social situations, friendly face scanning during, and deliberate memory editing after. At the end of 3 weeks, their prefrontal cortex response to social observation had increased by 34%. Their amygdala response had decreased by 28%. 21 days, that's it. 3 weeks of consistent practice and measurable brain change. This is what we mean when we say neuroplasticity. Your brain can learn new patterns. The old circuit, the one that says social observation equals danger, can be weakened, and a new circuit, one that says social observation equals opportunity, can be strengthened. Now I want to tell you about someone who did exactly this. Let's call him Michael. Michael was a software engineer who had been passed over for promotion 6 times because he couldn't speak in meetings. Every time he tried to contribute, his mind would go blank. His voice would tremble. He'd end up just shaking his head and staying silent. Michael tried everything. He prepared obsessively, writing out every word he might say. That made it worse, because when he deviated from his script, he'd panic. He tried deep breathing, but that only made him feel more disconnected. He tried alcohol before meetings, which worked once and then backfired catastrophically. Then Michael started using the protocol I just described. For 3 weeks, before every meeting, he'd ground himself. Feet on floor, spine straight, chin up. During the meeting, he'd scan for friendly faces, not to speak to them, just to notice them. And after the meeting, he'd do deliberate memory editing. 3 things that went well, anchored in his body. The first week, nothing changed. He still froze. The second week, he managed to say 1 sentence in a small team meeting. His voice shook, but the words came out. The third week, he spoke for 2 minutes in a department meeting. He made eye contact, he made his point, and afterwards, his manager asked him to lead the next project. This is why I created the 21-day challenge. Here's how it works. Week 1, grounding practice 3 times a day, even when you're alone. Week 2, grounding before social situations, plus friendly face scanning during. Week 3, add deliberate memory editing after. Screenshot this and comment "Challenge accepted" to commit. In 3 weeks, you'll have a different brain. Let me be clear about what this protocol does and doesn't do. It doesn't eliminate the feeling of being watched. That's hardwired into your brain, and you don't want to eliminate it. It's part of what makes you human. What it does is prevent that feeling from hijacking your prefrontal cortex. It gives you access to your thoughts even when you're activated. Think of it like this. Your amygdala is a smoke detector. It's supposed to go off when there's smoke. But right now, yours is so sensitive that it goes off when you burn toast. The protocol doesn't remove the smoke detector. It just recalibrates it so it only goes off when there's an actual fire. Here's what the research shows about the timeline of this recalibration. In the first week, you're just building awareness. You're noticing when you freeze, when your voice trembles, when your mind goes blank. That awareness alone starts to shift things because you're no longer fused with the experience. You're observing it. In the second week, you start to intervene. You ground yourself before situations. You scan for friendly faces during, and you notice that you can influence your state. You're not a victim of your brain. You're the driver. In the third week, the new patterns start to automate. Your brain begins to predict that social situations might be okay. Your prefrontal cortex stays more online. Your words come more easily. Now I want to address something that might be coming up for you. Maybe you're thinking, this sounds great, but my case is different. My anxiety is worse. I've tried everything. I hear you. And here's what I want you to understand. Your brain is not broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. It's just doing it in the wrong context. The same circuitry that protected your ancestors from tribal exclusion is now triggering in meetings and presentations. The problem isn't your brain. The problem is that your brain can't tell the difference between a tribe that might exile you and a team that just wants to hear your ideas. Your job isn't to fight your brain. Your job is to give it new information, to show it through repeated experience that being watched is not the same as being in danger. This is why the 21-day time frame matters. Neuroscience research shows that it takes approximately 3 weeks of consistent practice to begin forming new neural pathways. Not to completely rewire, that takes months, but to create the beginning of a new circuit, a detour around the old one. Every time you ground yourself and face a social situation, you're laying down a new neural track. Every time you scan for friendly faces, you're strengthening that track. Every time you deliberately recall what went well, you're cementing it. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to give a flawless presentation. You just have to show up and try the techniques. Your brain learns from the attempt, not from the outcome. Even if your voice shakes, even if you forget a point, even if you feel anxious the whole time, if you grounded yourself beforehand and scanned for friendly faces during, you've done the work. The neural change happens anyway. Before we close, I want to ask you for something. 3 people need to see this video. The first is someone whose mind goes blank under pressure, someone who thinks they're not smart enough. The second is someone who doesn't understand why this happens, a manager, a teacher, a friend who thinks anxious people should just calm down. And the third is someone who thinks they're alone in this, someone who believes they're the only one who freezes when all eyes are on them. Tag them in the comments. YouTube will notify them, and their healing starts with your tag. Your prefrontal cortex evolved to protect you from social threats. But 60 million years before that, your amygdala was already protecting you from something else. In our next episode, we'll travel back to when snakes were our deadliest predator and understand why that ancient circuit still triggers your deepest fears today. Until then, remember, your brain isn't broken. It's just running ancient software. And now you know how to update it. I'm your host, and this has been Anatomy of Fear.